Welcome everyone to the finals of the FIDE Freestyle Chess 2026 World Championship. On your screen is Magnus Carlsen. He takes on Fabiano Caruana in the finals and the score right now is 1-1. Both the first two games ended in draws in the 25 plus 10 segment. Now we are in the third game and a handshake there. Let's study the position and try to see what's happening here. So the rook is the same as in standard chess. It is on a1, the queen is on b1, king on c1. The bishops are in the center, then we have the rook and two knights. Now it's interesting to note that the moment you push your c pawn, it already attacks the h7 pawn, which is undefended. The g7 pawn is also undefended, which is quite interesting to see. And this does look like a position that can create a lot of dynamic play for both sides. What should be the first move? Difficult to say. Usually you want to activate your bishops. So e4, opening up the bishop this way makes sense. d4, activating the bishop this way makes sense. Or f4, putting out the bishop here makes sense. So there are some good moves. c4 definitely feels like a decent move, opening up the queen, but you also weaken the queen a bit. The players shake hands, and now we will see what Fabi comes up with as his first move. Fabi has never beaten Magnus in a world championship setting, nor has he beaten him in any match format. So this might be his chance. It's all even right now. If he manages to win this game, he will be able to really put pressure on Magnus. And as you can see, Fabi taking his time for move number one, not rushing things. That's the thing about freestyle chess. You have to start thinking from move number one. He goes c4. He opens up the queen, and you will see that both the players are looking upwards in this direction. There are screens there with the games of other players that are happening, and from there they do get some ideas and stuff of what's happening. f5 played by Magnus, blocking the queen's path, and f4 by Fabi. Now the knight can come to g3 next. He goes pawn to c6, opening up the queen here. And Fabi plays pawn to e3, nothing special, just defending the pawn, getting ready to bring his knight out to f3. Pawn comes up to e6, just creating this pawn chain here for black. And now knight to f3 played. He brings his knight in, knight to f6. And Fabi brings his knight to f2. He would like to maybe start pushing his kingside pawns with h3 and g4. He goes bishop h5, pinning the knight here. And pawn comes up to d4, just gaining space in the center. Okay, the e4 square is a bit weak, but the knight controls it. And the knight comes out to f7. You can already feel that white's position is slightly for preference. You can go queen c2, bishop e2, long castle here, h3 played by Fabi, and g4 is on the cards. You can see the queen eyeing in this direction as well. Pawn to a5 played by Magnus. Maybe a move that is a little bit too loose on the queen side, but one can understand that Magnus doesn't want bishop b4, but g4 is played. Now takes. The queen has opened up. The position is getting is sharp here. Knight takes g4 is kind of forced. He takes it. He takes the pawn. Now do you want to take here? I guess you have to, because going in is maybe not the best decision right now. First take, bishop takes, and now queen takes h7. He chops off the pawn, and now g7 is hanging. We have bishop coming out to f6. The bishop defends the pawn on g7. Fabi brings back the queen so that the queen is safe and he can slowly start pushing the pawns in the center. Pawn to d5 played by Magnus, stopping e4. And now Caruana takes on d5. Very interesting decision. Very interesting decision because, okay, Magnus can take with the e pawn, with the c pawn as well. Both moves make sense. He takes with the c pawn, and well, next up queen c7 check could happen. But what a move by Fabi. Knight h4. He attacks the bishop. Now the best move is bishop h3, rook to h1, now take here and come back. It's a very tough maneuver and Magnus misses it. He goes bishop d1, king d1. This is risky because now the rook is coming on the c file with a check. The queen is entering in. And if you short castle here, just imagine this. Short castle. Knight g6 is dangerous with rook h1, but Magnus blunders. He goes bishop h4. This is a mistake. Fabi can find here rook c1 check. The thing is, if you take bishop, queen comes out, and if you give a check, the king rushes in. But first, if you give a check and then pick this up, the king is out in the open. In fact, you have even a check here. Oh my god, Fabi is totally winning. He's completely winning, and considering the match situation, this could be completely fatal. Rook c1, he finds it. King d7, and now a check. Very important check needs to be found. Finds it again. King d6, and now bishop takes on h4. I think it's a good idea to just take it. He takes, and you can see that the knight doesn't have a good square. The king is in the open. Queen c5 check is coming. Square is taken up. Rook c8, the best move perhaps in the position for Magnus to try and hold it. King d2 played. Connecting the rooks. Fabi has an advantage of +7 here. It's almost done and dusted, the position. Magnus is sort of laying back in his chair, just can't believe the mess he has gotten into. He goes queen a7, Fabi pushes f5, a decent move, quite a good one, and actually it's threatening now bishop g3, queen a6 offering a queen trade. Now don't want to be trading queens, that's for sure. Queen b3, lovely move, keeping the queens on the board. Fe6 is coming, bishop g3 is coming, the rook is getting activated here, queen a3 check and e7 coming. That's the big point there. It's a big point. In fact, if you take here, I can simply first give a check, then take here, then enter in with the queen. So Magnus could, if he resigns here, it may not be even a bad decision, but no, rook c4. You can see how Magnus fights. He fights with everything he's got. By the way, an excellent move now is rook c4. Because if d takes c4, I have queen a3 check. Well, he first takes fe. And by the way, if rook c4, queen c4, there was check and b7 was hanging. Anyway, king e6 played. He takes on c4. Now, if queen takes here, then maybe even queen takes, and d5 and you lose the piece. So he goes pawn takes. That makes sense. And queen d1 played by Fabi. That's a nice move. He's going for the attack with 3 pieces and a lone king. c3. An amazing move by Magnus, creating some threats here, and the knight jumps in so that there's a check here and check here. Can Magnus survive this? That's insane. Fabi has 1 minute 39 seconds. Magnus has 25 seconds. Check there to the king. King d5. And now, maybe you could even sacrifice the rook. Takes is also winning because of some checks, but he goes rook f4, he stops knight e4 check, he's still better. But Magnus finds queen c4, now check coming in on a2. The thing is, Fabi is winning such brutally in this position, he's unable to find a finishing stroke, which is kind of irritating for him. Queen h3, and so it's like a position where you don't want to agree to a draw for sure. You have the repetition in your hand. You can repeat queen g2, queen h3, or queen f3, queen g4. He goes queen h1, king comes back to e6, Magnus holding on. Fabi's time now down to 27 seconds, while Magnus has built it up to 56. He goes queen b1. He defends a2, he defends a4, but this is not right. This is not the best. What's happening here? All of a sudden, Magnus is in with a chance. This is what he does. This is what he is good at. He's managed to hold this together. Okay, white is a pawn up. If the queens get traded, white should win that endgame. King d7, he's running away with his queen. So accurate is Magnus. Now queen b3. Trade the queens, perhaps. If you trade the queens, at least you're not going to lose or get checkmated. Queen b3, rook e8. Take here, take here. Yes, you'll lose the e3 pawn. That's not good news. He goes e4. But this is risking it now. This is super risking. He wants to go e5. And Magnus brings the rook in. He's attacking e4 with his knight and the rook. Okay, e5. He goes bishop g3. He wants to put the bishop here. And now suddenly g5 can become a nasty move. He plays it. Okay, rook needs to defend the e4 pawn, rook g4. And now Magnus has 38 seconds to find this incredible move. Rook f8, he finds it. Now these pieces are entering in. Rook f3 is coming in to attack. Magnus has 19 seconds, Fabi 22 seconds. He blunders with queen b3. And look at the knight, how it controls all the squares. The queen enters in check and rook coming in. Suddenly, black king is so safe. So safe. I mean, you can't even take here. Rook f2 is mate in 2. King e3, queen e2 mate. So you can't do that. And Magnus is winning. From a totally lost position, queen d5 played. But queen g2 check. Finds that as well. And Fabi cannot believe the rook is entering into f3 or f1. He jumps in and resigns. Magnus Carlsen wins. He can't believe that he's turned it around. Magnus, absolute amazing defense. Fabi will be livid with himself after that loss. Magnus leads the match 2-1.